thought that they were going to
They
improve.
2 points last
Yes,
year.
yeah, at least the 2 points now. They look at the goal difference and look at the gulf in class, the
Between
difference
fourth
between
and everyone
fourth
else.
and everybody else. You know, it can actually show that we're not improving at all. We said it in our previous show as well. That look at Lawrence Mhlanga. What is he bemoaning? Experience.
Yeah.
We talked about it. What are they doing? They're taking the experience away, bringing in new boys. They're going into the next campaign with a completely new, inexperienced side again. And that's actually the characteristic they are crying about.
They bring in players that they don't give the experience. Like take for example, Lamek Namo, who they bought from from Triangle United, or even Raman Kutsanzira, who they got from Highlanders. You bring in players like that, you play them 1 or 2 games, and then you bench them, and then they're not getting any experience. Lamek Namo right now is still inexperienced in the CAF Champions League, because last year, Chris, even though he was FC Platinum, he was hardly playing.
He was hardly playing, but what you saw was when he did get a run out, he made a positive impact on the game, which then begs to question, why is someone who's able to make that kind of positive impact on the game on the bench? Are we buying for the sake of depleting the rest of the league? Are we buying simply to,
just for the sake of buying?
For the sake of, we said we've bought. This is transfer season. We've bought. Is that what we're buying?
Alois made a good point when we discussed this last week, when he said that FC Platinum are buying for the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League as opposed to buying players who are good enough to challenge on the continent.
Exactly. And what they're doing now in Shona, we've got this idiom that goes Mtemare Gwembada. You know that statement.
Chris went to a private school.
You're going to need to explain this one.
Explain that one.
Mtemare Gwembada is like, let's say the hunter arrives with 100 chickens. Instead of just biting and killing the 2 that they want to eat and feed up, they spend time killing everything else, but they can only eat 1. You know, so that's what they do. They first kill him. They see a good player, they want to take the player. They see a good player there, they want to take a player. What do they have? They actually have good players. They actually release some of the times they actually release better players than the ones that are bringing.
So what you were saying, Alois, is that FC Platinum, instead of going to buy 7 players, would be better served if they just bought 3 really
good players and keep the ones that they've got, because they've already given them the experience. They need to still grow. What they need to do is to strengthen their side. Get a core side, the core of your side, then gradually strengthen the side. Look at Man City for an example. He didn't just come in and dismantle the team, but it's a completely new team 3 years later.
He gave them a chance. He said, okay, first season, I'm going to watch these boys play. And then he was able to make the correct changes in the second season.
Nice and easily. It was not even worrisome. You know, so what FC Platinum is doing now, they've got a whole new team that is going to be getting into the next edition of the Champions League. What are we going to expect? We are not going to expect any improvement now. And they will still come back and say, Tajiro Bones. Tajiro experience, but they are doing it for themselves.
Okay, if you want to know how really bad FC Platinum's campaign was, FC Platinum had the worst points return in the group stages of the CAF Champions League. FC Platinum had the worst goal difference of all the 4 groups in the CAF Champions League. FC Platinum scored the least number of goals with just 2 in all the groups in the CAF Champions League. FC Platinum had the second worst defensive record, conceding 11. FC Platinum had the worst points differential from the teams sitting at the top, together with USM Alger and Zesco. And so that sums up FC Platinum's campaign in the CAF Champions League in a nutshell.